hey buddy. What are you doing? I thought you were asleep upstairs. I'm just reading this book. Scary stories. Do you want me to read you one? Let's see. Let's look for a good one in here. Let's do the Salem witch hysteria as poltergeist activity. Okay. Because of the accusations of a small circle of pubescent girls, an entire community in the Massachusetts Bay Colony became crazed and allowed themselves to get caught up in the fear that many of the neighbors were secretly serving Satan. A strong case might be made for the argument that the famous Salem witchcraft hysteria of 1692 is an example of poltergeist phenomenon. What's wrong? Oh, were you watching those scary movies? Yeah. Well, back in the day, they believed that witches, if you were a witch, they would do really bad things to you. Yeah. And if they found out you were a witch, you wouldn't be, well, you wouldn't be allowed to be there anymore. Yes. That's why they had witch trials where they would go in, and if somebody said that you were a witch, they would put you on trial for it. And most of the time they would find you guilty and you would be either burned or something with the community. They were all against it. But maybe I shouldn't read this. Maybe you're kind of too young for this kind of stuff. Let's see. There's pictures of different things in here. Like this one. I don't know what that sound was. It's okay. Probably just the rain from the thunderstorm. Do you want me to go check? You're always so scared. I don't know why you watch those scary movies, so you know they'll give you nightmares. I'll read you one out of the book. Just one. Then I'll go check outside. I don't know what that noise is. It's probably just thunder. You're probably just overreacting, considering you and those scary, scary movies all night long. You gotta stop watching those. They do give you nightmares. Okay. This one doesn't seem that bad. Let's read this. Brett Bailey, dying request was when he was buried standing up. He proclaimed that he spent his whole life stomping over Texas prairies and didn't aim to stop when he died. They buried old Britt in 1833, but residents in the area of Bailey's Prairie, 5 miles west of Alcorn, Texas, in Bricopia County, claim that the early settler has kept his vow to keep stomping around on the prairies. The Thomas family moved into the Bailey place shortly after he had planted erect in the sod and were first to bear witness to the old-timer's ghost. It did not wait long to start prowling around. In her diary, Anne Rainey Thomas made a record of her sighting of old Britt's ghostly face looking through the window at her one night. Her servant girl, Melinda reported that the ghost chased the hired hands away from the cows during evening milkings. All members of the household swore to have heard old Brit shuffling footsteps moving around the house after dark. Oh, it's kind of scary. Once, when Mr. Thomas laid ill, he claimed that he clearly saw Britt Bailey in the room with them. But it was not until the early 1950s that Bailey's glowing, ghostly image began to be seen away from his house, out on the open prairies. Colonel Orlando Munson and several of his guests saw a glowing ball of light drift explicitly past his home at a very slow pace early one evening. Saddling their horses in Colonial, his male guests have the strange globe of glowing light in a handy pursuit, but they were unable to capture it or clearly identify it. From that night on, Britt Bailey light was drifted across the Texas prairies that the old settler was so reluctant to relish. That seems a little bit crazy, doesn't it? So, he passed away, but his ghost still roams around the prairies like he did. Okay, well, I think that should be enough story time for tonight. But maybe tomorrow night I'll read you another one. No scary movies. I don't know what that sound is. Okay. Go up to your room. I'll meet you there in about 15 minutes. I'll go look around to make sure there's not any scary ghosts outside, okay? Okay. I love you. Maybe it's a ghost. Just joking. How's this? I'll meet you up in your room in 15 minutes, okay? Go wait for me there, and I'll check around the house just to make sure everything's okay. 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 I love you. Go, go, go. Better run up there. Hi, honey. What do you mean? I don't. What mommy is gonna do? She's gonna check your heartbeat. See. Just check mine first. It's weird. I don't hear anything. Let's check yours. There we go. Yeah. I hear it. Okay. Let's see. I know I was gonna read you a story, but you want to read a scary, scary story. Yeah. Back and listen to this scary, scary story. When I was going outside, I barely made it out the garage door when someone grabbed my arm and took a chunk out of it. All I heard was growling. People were trying to get through the door. I had to literally barricade the door so they couldn't get inside. After I was bit, I ran into the bathroom and put a bunch of hydrogen peroxide, soap and water, and alcohol on the bite. Then I put a whole bunch of antibiotic ointment and wrapped it up really tight. But then I started feeling like out of it, like my body was burning up. So I got into ice water for at least 20 minutes. It didn't even touch the burning feeling that I had in my head, that I still have right now. The second thing I started noticing is my vision. I started to be able to see everything in the dark. And my hearing, things in a distance I never heard before, like your heartbeat and what sounds like really, really loud breathing. So loud that it hurts my head. My face looks so different, almost like it changed shape. And my eyes looked as if all the color was gone. That's when I realized why this was happening, and that those feral people in my garage had something to do with it. I was changing into them, but for some reason, I still had complete control of myself, where they did not. That's what happened to Mommy when she went to go see what that big noise was. It was the feral people in the garage. And now, this is me. Gonna be okay. Just because I'm undead now doesn't mean I can't still be your mommy. Everybody at school is gonna be so excited about you having a zombie mom. Just think, you can tell all the kids your mommy's gonna live forever. Yeah, isn't that fun? Shh. I love you. Mommy will always love you. You know that. Now tuck yourself in and let's go to sleep. Okay. Okay. Mommy's gonna buy you a mockingbird. Close your eyes.